Hey folks, welcome to another day, another unboxing. What I have here is TCL's 10 5G ultra wideband. This is the final of the three TCL 10 series phones we first saw at CES. It is the 5G version with ultra wideband, aka millimeter wave for Verizon. So this is a Verizon exclusive in the US. Costs $400 US. It's the cheapest 5G phone in the US at the time I make this video. Pretty impressive. Unfortunately, it's a Verizon exclusive and also means you get millimeter wave, which might be really cool if you live in a millimeter wave area. This is not a new phone in the sense that we've already reviewed the TCL 10L, which is very similar to this phone, but doesn't have 5G, and the TCL 10 Pro, which is kind of a premium version, but also doesn't have 5G. So let's have a look real quick. We've got the phone right here, some stuff on the back, and here's some of the specs. 6.53-inch 1080p display, Snapdragon 765, 48 megapixel main camera, 128 6 gigs of RAM, 4500 milliamp hour, and of course 5G. It says here display greatness because TCL makes their own screens. This is an IPS panel, by the way. Let's open this up. Here we go. Boom. All right, nothing in here. Let's have a look at the phone in a second. I think I'm going to have to tip this over to get it out. There we go. So there's the phone. Then we have a divider here. And we've got another divider. It's divider central here. So this has probably the meat of things. Manuals, all the other stuff. So there you go. Manuals are right here. There's a SIM removal tool, nothing else. No case included in this one. There is a case with the 10L and the 10 Pro. So keep that in mind. So let's remove this real quick and have a look at what we've got. So it looks like we got a quick reference guide, product safety and warranty, consumer info. I'm going to skip these two, nobody cares. Let's have a look at what the manual looks like. So remember, this is a Verizon phone, and so this might be slightly different than if it was sold directly from TCL. Yeah, you know, it's usual stuff. Okay, so it's in two languages, Spanish on the other side. Then we've got a couple of compartments here with, haha, you guessed it, the charging brick and the USB Type-C cable. Nothing else in the box. I'll move that out of the way. So I'm not going to take this out. This should be an 18-watt charger because the phone supports 18 watt. I'm not sure. I'll take a look and let you know by putting it right here. And then, of course, you've got a Type A, as you can see here, Type A to Type C. You can see in there. C to A cable, since this is A and the phone is C. Nothing to see here, really. Let's get to the phone, shall we? So, powered by NXT Vision, Next Vision. So they have, in the 10L and the 10 Pro, they have an extra custom chip to do things like motion scaling and all that stuff. So, you know, TCL is well known for their TVs, so they've added some extra functionality for imaging. And they have really, really lovely displays, which is really nice. So this is an IPS, but not an OLED. Let's pull this out. All right, we just want to reboot. As you saw, this does not look like an LCD display. I'm sure you noticed there from the colors, this looks much nicer than that. And that's the thing with TCL's display technology. They make, you know, obviously, they make TVs and stuff, and they have a lot of expertise in IPS panels. So here you go, you can see the beautiful contrasty colors. So as you can see, you know, this is the startup screen. It's probably trying to connect to the network right now, and it just did. You know, you get this on Verizon phones. They have to like register on the network in some weird way the first time you use them. It's really annoying. There is very little bezel, mostly, except for the chin, which is pretty obvious down here. But overall, it's a pretty modern looking phone from the front. It's got a hole punch camera here. This is a 16 megapixel camera. Under the hood, Snapdragon 765. We've got 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage with micro SD support, so that's pretty nice. There's a 4500 milliamp hour battery under there that should work pretty well with Snapdragon 765. This phone does have sub-6 and millimeter wave 5G, so that's pretty cool. This is the back, and as you can immediately see, it's got this really cool, like, diamond cut, like, weird pattern thing going on. And the first thing you notice immediately, other than the cool pattern here, is the fingerprint sensor in the back, right? This is an IPS LCD panel, so you can't put an in-display fingerprint sensor. And it's got triple camera setup with a dual flash on each side, which is kind of also unusual. Again, this is the same industrial design as the TCL 10L. So nothing too new. I think it's a little thicker because of the millimeter wave antennas, but overall, pretty much we're talking the same thing, right? Now, this is a fully plastic phone, so you keep that in mind. The frame is plastic. The back, even though it looks like glass, is plastic. Of course, the front is glass. You expect that, but you know, this is $400, right? So you got to adjust your expectations, and I think that's reasonable at $400. Especially a phone with millimeter wave, it's going to be more expensive because of the extra antennas and circuits in there. So yeah, let's talk about these three cameras. So the main camera on the back is a 48 megapixels, one of these three. I believe that's 0.8 micron pixels. We've got no OIS on that main lens. Let's not go crazy, okay? We've got an 8 megapixel ultra wide, which is pretty okay. We have a 5 megapixel macro with autofocus. So that's actually a big deal because if you're going to have a macro, right? Let's not make it useless like OnePlus and have no autofocus on it. Let's actually make it work with autofocus, and they did that. Autofocus on the macro is good news for the 10 times you're going to take a macro photo, but it's there, so that's good. If you're going to do it right, you know? All right, let me show you through the edges quickly. So we've got on the right-hand side here, the volume rocker, right? And the power lock key. They're pretty small and thin, so it's kind of hard to see them. So at the bottom here, you've got a mono speaker, and then you've got a USB Type-C port, and then one of these symmetric openings has the primary microphone in it. On the left-hand side here, you have the SIM slot and micro SD slot up here. At the top, you've got a welcome little thing here with a headphone jack, of course, secondary microphone. So, you know, that's pretty good news. You get a headphone jack, sweet. Let's have a look at that display again. It's pretty lovely, yeah. So that's it. That's the TCL 10 5G. This is the UW version, aka the ultra wideband millimeter wave version, $400 US. So, you know, if you're a Verizon customer, you're looking to get 5G and you also want to try millimeter wave, maybe you happen to be on a street that supports it, one of the 10 of you who are in an area with millimeter wave, maybe $400 is worth checking out. I enjoyed the TCL 10L. It had a Snapdragon 600 series. This is a 765. You're going to get better performance no matter what, even if you're on 4G. The cameras could be better from what I remember in my review. I'll put the review in the description below. So that's it, folks. This is the Mobile Tech Podcast channel. This is where you will find visual complement to my podcast. So please like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. Click the notification bell below. Let me know what you think. Would this be the sweet spot for you on Verizon? Would you spend just $400 to get this phone for the 5G? Or would you just say, forget it, I'd rather have an older, more premium phone that I spend a little bit more money on Verizon right now? Do you care about 5G? Let me know all this in the comments. Anyway, that's it, folks. Stay tuned. I'll have more content on the show soon. Remember to subscribe to the podcast as well, mobiletechpodcast.com, or on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Spotify, to name a few places. So yeah, please join the podcast and stay tuned for more videos soon. Cheers, everybody.